Hello! Quality Not Included, episode 3.
Yes, we're back.
Let's get it. We're back after a week because I had to watch wrestling. So. you know me. You know me.
Blame him.
I had to watch my wrestling. Listen, it's 4 Saturdays a year.
Scoot in a little bit.
Only close to you. It's 4 Saturdays a year, so I feel like I get a pass.
Well, hope everyone's doing well.
Absolutely.
We've been stockpiling a bunch of news for the past 2 weeks now.
Some interesting stuff has gone on these
Some
past 2 weeks.
very interesting stuff as we'll get into it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess we'll just go ahead and jump into it. We've got some Marvel news.
Yeah, the season 2 trailer for Loki dropped. I think the most interesting thing about this is we're coming off the heels of Secret Invasion, which, to put it nicely, was mixed.
Dog shit.
Mixed opinions. I still haven't finished it. I'm so unmotivated.
I haven't even finished season 1 of Loki. So.
I'm genuinely, which you should. It's a good show.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I'm genuinely excited for the Marvels. I think that's gonna be a fun time. Then after that is Loki. Depending on how good or bad Marvels is and performs, might give us an inkling of how Loki is going to be. Because for a lot of people, Loki is the best Disney Plus Marvel show. For a lot of people.
Fair.
And then after that, we have the Echo show that they're dropping the whole season now at once. They're not doing the week by week. So that has a lot of people worried about that, personally. This trailer was pretty solid. Again, it's given us all the things that were interesting about the show, the first season, the weird 70s aesthetic of the TVA, and they didn't show Jonathan Majors very much. They showed him, but he didn't say anything, but they showed him, so
I feel like after all of that stuff went down with Jonathan Majors, they went back and very delicately cut out all of the parts that weren't really necessary with him in it, and just
he's in the
Major
show.
stuff.
He's in the show, and what they should have done, they should have just dropped the show immediately. Like, they just need to get it released ASAP. Because the longer they dwell on this while this trial with him is going on and everything, it's just going to make things look like it's not a good PR situation. But I thought the trailer was solid. This is my wife's favorite Disney show. She's been asking me constantly, like, when's Loki Season 2 coming out? I'm like, well, this, I think November?
Maybe? I don't know. I don't keep up with Marvel.
Or October. It's coming out in the fall. It's coming out in the fall. So, I mean, I feel like we've had a good run with Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which a lot of people loved, including myself. Then Secret Invasion was so I feel like we're in a roller coaster right now. So if Marvel's is good, would that mean Loki's bad? Or if Marvel's is bad but then Loki's good, you know, like we're like a heart monitor.
I think they just need to nip it in the bud. I feel like the superhero craze, at least for Marvel, is starting to dull down, and people are really interested in DC now.
Well, I mean, we've talked about Blue Beetle, of how. Oh, a fun fact about Blue Beetle, they're kind of a tangent, but the early projections have doubled.
Really?
It's now projected to make $30 million opening weekend, that's better than $12 million.
It's still going to lose money, but it's not going to lose as much money.
So I don't know. I think people are just more cautious now with the super stuff. Like, superhero fatigue is a dumb myth. It doesn't exist. I think people now are just more cautiously, like, we can't assume everything that comes out is going to be great. I think people's expectations are getting way more subdued. People are going into things more cautiously, which you should do anyway. You shouldn't assume everything you're going to watch is going to be a masterpiece.
Well, I think a lot of that mindset comes from how consistently great Marvel was for like 8 years.
Yeah, even at their lowest points. Like, for me, some of my favorite Marvels are considered like my favorite Marvel movies.
Yeah. Like the first 2 Thors, right? You really
I love Dark World. And people hate that movie. I love Age of Ultron. I think that's easily like the second best Avengers movie of that franchise.
I don't dislike either one of them. I just don't think that they are as good as their predecessors or successors. So, but Loki Season 2, people are gonna like it, probably.
You should definitely watch Season 1. I mean, like, that's
I've seen the first episode.
I think just that's such an interesting show, such a unique looking show. I love the sci-fi 70s elements of it, and the music is so interesting.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, I'm hyped for Season 2. My wife is hyped for it. We're definitely gonna watch it.
For sure.
I don't know if I'll ever finish Secret Invasion.
I don't think anybody would blame me for not doing it. But...
at least for the story bits, but we'll see. I'll do it when I absolutely have to.
Oh, yeah.
Now, we've been talking a lot about Barbie and Oppenheimer, the first 2 episodes of our show.
3 weeks in a row, man.
But we're coming on the 4th weekend. This will be the 4th weekend.
Yeah.
But the second and third weekends, like I said, we took a week off. These 2 movies, dude, hella bank.
Yeah.
Barbie has officially reached $1 billion. Barbie has passed $1 billion.
Oppenheimer's projected to get $900 million, if
which
not more.
would just be nuts.
Yeah.
Absolutely nuts. Mm-hmm. And like the soundtrack for Barbie, you showed me, that's doing really well.
It's charting on Billboard. I bought it on vinyl.
They got some massive pop stars.
Oh, absolutely.
The music in the movie's great.
I mean, it's a shame.
People love the movie. They're going to want to check out the music.
It's a shame that Lizzo got canceled
Oh
after
my
all
God,
that.
what a mess that. And of course, she's the first song you hear in the movie.
She's the first song you hear in the movie.
Good Lord.
But I mean, so after
death.
So, but you know, after Barbie did so well, we started getting the rumors. Oh, we're getting a Polly Pocket movie. Oh,
yeah.
Mattel's going to do all of these different movies.
In classic corporation form, the message that they should have gotten is completely missed on them, and they completely take away the wrong thing from the results.
So now we're probably going to
we'll definitely get a sequel to Barbie, which
Oh, yeah.
there is some possibilities there that you could make another good movie with this story and world you've set up.
Yeah.
There's plenty of possibilities. Making movies on like an 8-ball and shit, nah, it's not a good idea.
Magic 8-Ball, Hungry Hippos,
which
movie.
people have been wanting. People have been low-key wanting.
Hungry Hippos is actually a confirmed movie in development. So,
well, given the success of this, and my
are we gonna get Twister the movie, but it's not the tornado movie. It's about the board game.
I think these 2 movies with such a dull, abysmal summer for blockbusters. For these 2 films, both so different, so diametrically opposed, to just crush it in the respective fields is great. Great for the industry, great for movie fans, great for people.
Great for the actors.
Great for the actors,
100%.
Great for everybody involved. I mean, both these films are going to have huge Oscar buzz about them.
And, you know, Margot Robbie always had like an appeal to her, especially once she did.
But if you look at her track record for her films, box office wise,
they're not great.
They're not great.
No, but
I think this is going to streamline, because I would call her a B-lister at this point. This movie, A-list. She's A-list now, and she knows it, because she was a producer on this film too.
Yeah, and I feel like Oppenheimer did the same thing for Cillian Murphy.
Well, and for just period drama movies.
Absolutely.
We've got Killers of the Flower Moon coming, Ridley Scott's Napoleon with Joaquin Phoenix coming. Those are 2 other, and if they do even remotely as well as this film does, I mean, that's like Hollywood's going to pay attention to that.
100%.
And for people who like those kind of films, you're definitely going to see a surge of them, because they've been kind of like every so often. But with how great Oppenheimer did, oh, for sure, you're going to see a lot more of them.
I was never a huge fan of period pieces until I saw the French film Portrait of a Lady on Fire.
Okay.
Unbelievably good movie, which I'm surprised they haven't.
See, some of my favorite films, like Amadeus and period pieces. Good Lord, I've watched so many films.
Like Gladiator and 300 are technically period pieces.
Yeah, like based on a true, like Amadeus is like my go-to, because that's one of my favorite films of all time. It just, those kind of films I have such a soft spot for, especially when they're so well directed and acted. Which, I mean, that's like a standard for any movie, but
yeah,
it's so much harder than it looks. And Oppenheimer is so well directed, so incredibly acted, so like,
honestly, arguably the best part about that movie is the sound design. The sound design of that movie took my breath away. I can't say enough good things about either one of those movies. They're both fantastic.
Now it's just like, we're at a point now. We're at a transitionary point where, okay, everyone's seen it. Now is everyone going to keep seeing them? Because a lot of people now are like, okay, is Barbie going to pass Mario for highest grossing film of the year?
I think it will.
It's pacing. It's pacing. And then Oppenheimer, like, dude, and not even like, internationally, both these films have been crushing it. They made more overseas than they have in the States, which, like, especially for Oppenheimer, that's crazy. That's crazy. So yeah, this is This is just an historic. The Barbenheimer is real. It's been real, and I don't think it's showing any signs of slowing down.
Not at all.
But of course, Hollywood will fuck it up and be like, let's try and replicate this, Which
Absolutely.
but like now, for me now, it's like, what's the award season going to be like? That's what I'm excited for.
I feel like, like how
There's a
this
Best
year...
Picture nom for both these films.
Oh, absolutely.
Easy.
Well, see, like how this year was dominated by like Elvis and Everything Everywhere All at Once, and
You mean last year?
Yeah, last year was dominated by like.
I know
those
we saw the
films.
Oscars this year. Yeah.
But how it was dominated by those films, I feel like any category that is anywhere near applicable to these two films, they're going to get a nod.
Well, realistically, again, we haven't seen Flower Moon or Napoleon or some other big name films for the rest of the year, and we're not even to the like Oscar season, or like December, all these fucking artsy films come out.
I feel like you're shooing nominations: Cillian Murphy for Best Actor, Margot Robbie for Best Actress.
Maybe I feel like it's too early to tell that yet. It's a little too early for that. Cillian Murphy's, his nomination's in the bag.
Well, and Ryan Gosling for Best Supporting Actor.
Dude, see, I'm so torn on this.
Robert Downey Jr. for Best Supporting Actor.
He's got that in the bag. Ryan Gosling, dude, it could happen. And I don't think he'll win, but just the nomination, dude.
I feel like he's going to get nominated.
But what if he won? What if he won? The world would implode.
Well, so if he won over RDJ...
Because here's the thing. The Ken character and Ryan Gosling's performance is all acting. It's all acting. The faces he makes, the reactions to things, his comedic timing, it's all acting. It's all great paced acting, too. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked.
I wouldn't be shocked either. I wouldn't be mad if either one of them won it. But I feel like if Ryan Gosling took that award from Robert Downey Jr. coming up this year, it's going to be the same situation to when who won Best Supporting Actress. I'm blanking on her name. She was in fucking Halloween.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis. When she won over Angela Bassett, people were pissed.
People still haven't forgiven it.
Look,
dude, I liked both those performances. I love both those actresses. I was like, yay, someone I like got recognized. Woohoo! That's all I cared about.
Yep.
Well,
and
for me, it's like
she's
Robbie
great.
Downey Jr. This will be if he gets nominated. This will be his third time nominated and his second time being nominated for Best Supporting Actor. And
what was his other nomination? Was it?
He was nominated for Charlie Chaplin in the '90s, and then his second time was
Zodiac.
No. Was
I'm surprised he didn't get
oh
nominated
my
for
god,
Zodiac.
what is the movie? I'm blanking on the movie.
He's great in Zodiac.
Where he plays the Australian guy playing a black guy.
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder. He got nominated for an Oscar for his performance of that.
People have
where Cuban Gooding Jr. did a great bit where he's like, "Hey man, leave some jobs for the rest of us." It's great.
Yeah.
So this will be his third time nominated. I think this will be Ryan Gosling's second time being nominated for an Oscar.
I'm not too familiar with his work. I've always known him, but I don't think I've really
Gosling's
watched his
quickly
movies.
risen in the ranks of one of my favorite actors working today. If you look at my favorite films, he's in Blade Runner 2049. He's in The Big Short. He's been in some of my favorite films, and I've always just kind of like, yeah, I know this guy. He's always been there, but like this film, I'm like, okay, we've seen him as a comedic star and as a dramatic star. Like we've seen the layers of him. I really hope he gets at least some recognition. That's all I want. But design wise, Barbie's going to sweep the design as it should. Yeah. What film looks like this has or will ever look like this? I mean, come on.
Is she gonna get Best Director nod? Yeah.
I mean,
I think she'll.
Nolan for sure. I mean, okay,
Nolan,
you've got
Greta
Nolan,
Gerwig.
Scott, and Scorsese. 3 high-profile actors doing big movies this year. So that only leaves 2 other categories. I think Gerwig should get one of them. Not only is this easily her most successful film, but this is the most successful film for a
female director.
For a female-only director in history of cinema. She should absolutely get nominated.
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
So we'll see. We'll see. All right. Well, next on the docket, this just caught my eye. But there's like some rumors and things.
I think IGN posted this.
Yeah. Apparently, Nintendo's gonna have a new console like by next year.
Yeah, for next gen.
Why?
Well,
the Switch is like barely like. Switch is
when
like,
did they drop the Switch? Because I feel like the Switch.
I'm just thinking of like how long was the PS4 around before the PS5 came out?
I mean, we had the PS2 for like 12 years. I mean, listen, the Switch...
Like, Nintendo, like, I think their longest-running console was the Wii. It's like, they, like, Wii U, Switch. It's like, slow down.
I mean...
the Switch is so...
We've had the Switch for 6 years.
I mean, come on. Is that really long enough to warrant a new one?
I think that's around
We've
about
only
the
had
timeline.
After Super Mario Wonder, we've only had 2 mainline Mario games that aren't like remakes or new or revamped editions of older games. 2 new Mario games on this console.
2 new Mario games. We had 2 Mario, 2 big Zelda games. We had like 3 Pokemon games come out.
I just feel like it's so early to be doing that.
See, I don't, because I feel like the one thing that Nintendo has been behind on is VR. Because they were, honestly, Nintendo was low-key kind of a pioneer in VR with the Virtual Boy, which fucking failed. But like that was, you know,
they were the first to do like virtual reality console, you know?
But they are the only, like, out of the big 3 that haven't dipped their toes in it. Like, even Steam has dipped their toes in it. But I don't think it's too soon, because we got the Switch.
But why can't we do some VR thing with the Switch? Why can't it be compatible with, like, why do we need a whole... And we don't, again, we should preface this, we don't know the new console will be VR related.
Yeah, it's just what I'm assuming, because we got the Switch before we got the new Xbox and the new PlayStation.
Right.
We got it before, so it still felt like it was a previous generation in comparison with those two.
Mm-hmm.
And Nintendo's always been kind of weird with their release cycles, because they'll just drop something out of nowhere. Like, we got the 2DS, like, out of fucking nowhere, it feels like.
Yeah.
But,
I don't know, it's just, it's...
I feel like they'll I don't know... See, I feel like if they do drop it, it's not going to be a portable console. I think they'll do...
You think it'll be like a console?
I think it'll be a console because the last time that they had a non-portable console was Wii U, and that was like 2013.
Well, I wouldn't be shocked then if that's the case, if Switch kind of becomes their new, like, this is now a handheld,
like DS.
They're going to treat it like their current DS with this, and then have this new console. I mean, that wouldn't be bad. Yeah. I just think the Switch, there's so many possibilities yet to explore. And like now they're tossing it to the side.
But see, I also like Switch hardware. Like I know they just dropped the OLEDs, which the OLED Switches can do a lot more mechanically. Mm-hmm. But when you look at something like the new Xbox or the new PlayStation, like the games that can run on those cannot run on the Switch, and I feel like that is a big hindrance for Nintendo, because they can't get these huge AAA titles in the same quality as Microsoft and Sony can get them. So I feel like it's not a bad idea for them to release an at-home console and still support Switch.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. But again, this isn't like confirmed or anything, you know. I
thought it was. I mean, IGN, they're pretty on top of that stuff.
Let's look at the thing.
Okay, breaking Nintendo reportedly plans release.
So there's nothing. It's like not.
Console during second half of 2024. Sources told VGC development kits for the unannounced new console are now with partner studios. Okay. Apparently the next
maybe
okay. So it's
another
portable. It's another portable one.
See, that's dumb. See, now it really like, why do we need another? You've got the Switch, and the Switch has been great. Why?
Well, see, I feel like the big thing with that at this point is just keeping up with PlayStation and Xbox.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I can see. But I mean, even if they do drop this, I feel like it's going to just be a reskinned Switch, because when we got the new Xboxes, they're the exact same thing as the Xbox One, just with better hardware.
Dude, this is why I love PlayStation. It's like we get a new
actually
console,
get something.
We get a new console, and then it's like a new console for
Yeah.
Alright, let's talk about something stupid.
Fucking stupid Stephen Amell.
Stephen Amell, what a bonehead. Big bonehead Stephen Amell.
So he came out and was saying things like, I know this isn't an exact quote, but he's like, I don't get why people pick it. I think it's bad for the industry.
Yeah, he preferenced it with like, I support my fellow actors, but I don't like what they're doing. And it's like, dude, do you not know what striking is or how it works? It's because of striking that we've gotten better work environments in any field.
Exactly.
It's a necessary evil, you know?
Well, see, I think his big thing is he wants to be different because he's pissed that he's like a lifetime CW actor.
Well, I like
his big thing is Heels. Aside from Arrow, he's in the show Heels with CM Punk.
And some people like that show.
And some people like that show. It's a good wrestling show.
To me, I don't think he did it for attention. I think because he said it at a con, and I'll always give the benefit of doubt when a director or actor or producer says something kind of stupid because it's heat of the moment. You got a microphone and camera in your face. If you had time to prepare what you were gonna say, you might not say it exactly like.
Fair.
So maybe he was trying to be like, look, it sucks that we have to do this, but and I don't like it, but we need to do it. But how he worded it, but then it's okay
because he's with them now.
He's with them now. A picture dropped just a couple days ago of him on the line. I was like, well, I mean, it's better than nothing. Yeah, it's better than nothing.
He got ate alive online for it. People were making fun of him, and now he's
cooked, dude. He's getting absolutely cooked.
Like,
hey, look, I'd rather have him on there than not have him on there.
But the thing is, though, is like, the only reason this is big news that he joined the picket line is because of the comments that he said. So I think this was orchestrated from the start. I think he wanted to bring some notoriety to his name because I think he's pissed at being a CW actor and he wants these movie nods. You know, because aside from Arrow and Heels, I can't name.
But I don't think Stephen Amell has the balls to cross the picket line. I don't think he has the balls to be a scabber.
I don't think he ever planned on scabbing. I think he planned, I'm going to say this shit and to get buzz around my name, and then I'm going to join the picket line to prove that I'm a good guy.
Yeah,
because
he should have just donated like The Rock did. See, now The Rock had some drama with the Black Adam stuff, but now he's cool because he donated 7-figure donations.
But see, the thing is, Stephen Amell's a CW actor. Like, I don't even think his contract is a 7-figure contract.
Which is why he should be picketing. I mean, like, that's
exactly that's the whole fucking point. Why?
Yeah, no, he said something stupid, but like, hey, he righted his wrong by getting on the picket line. What a bonehead.
What a bonehead. Yeah.
Let's jump down real quickly because I mentioned it. But speaking of donations, well, a lot of people's predictions were right. Post The Rock doing
Rock the Dwayne Johnson
dropping his huge donation. Several other actors have done the same. Good. Dude, I don't think anybody can guess that the actor strike won't go super long because they're the ones really making an impact. I think it's great that you have this huge pool of money now where they could go as long as they need to. Yep. If these high-profile actors keep donating huge 7-figure, big-figure donations, they'll be going for a while. I really want to see this happening for the WGA, though. They need it more than the actor strike does. Because the actor strike has been building a trust fund or like a shit hitting the fan fund for the longest time. Because they haven't stricken since the 80s, you know. I really would like to see news of this for the WGA because they need it more, you know.
100%.
But I think it's great that these donations are happening, period. You know, I think it's a huge win for the strikes. Mm-hmm. And apparently, I read this a while ago that I think in the coming weeks, the WGA will be sitting down with the producers again.
Good.
So we'll see if any progress is made there, you know. Because the big thing is residuals. That's the huge thing right now. And yeah. There's no way nobody has an answer for that.
It's just crazy that, you know, and I talked about it on a previous episode, but like there's a guy I saw his TikTok, like he wrote for Seinfeld, which is like one of the biggest shows of all time, syndicated. It like you can go on TV right now and it's probably playing on some channel.
Yeah, who doesn't know Seinfeld?
He'll get like a 30-cent residual check for an entire month.
Dude, and look at a modern one, Orange Is the New Black. Actress, one of the actresses famously showed their check in the mail. It was for like pennies, dude. It's insane. It's insane. So we'll see. I think this is far from being over overall, but with these donations and everything, I think at least for the actors that they'll be comfortable. They can go as long as they need to stick it to the producers. Mm-hmm. Switching back, Billy, this probably made you very excited.
It did.
A new
not
a new Wes Anderson full film.
It's a short film.
It's a short film. But you're getting double Anderson this year.
Double Anderson this year. Anderson is my favorite director. I saw Asteroid City earlier this year. Have you seen it yet?
It just dropped to Peacock, so I will absolutely be seeing it now.
Good.
On your Peacock.
Good. Yeah. You'll have to tell me what you think of it. But
absolutely, I'm getting some water.
Yeah. So the new Wes Anderson film is called The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar. and it's I think it's 40 minutes, and it's been Benedict Cumberbatch is the big actor in it. Yeah, it's based on a short story. It's 40 minutes long. I'm
Roald
excited
Dahl
for
is
it.
the
Yeah,
author.
it's by Roald Dahl, and what the fuck he did? What did
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
There you go, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
And
So
the Big Friendly Giant.
and the Big Friendly Giant. So I'm excited for it. I love Wes Anderson. There's still a few of his films that I haven't seen, but
To me, really, all you need to see is the Royal Tenenbaums and the Grand Budapest.
Grand
That's
Budapest, Isle of Dogs is also great.
Really, yeah, and a lot of people love Fantastic Mr. Fox. I enjoy that
I
one.
don't think he has any misses that I've seen. I've loved everything that I've seen from him. But yeah, we're getting double Wes Anderson
this year.
which is great. And Benedict Cumberbatch is great. So
And Ben Kingsley, yeah, it's got some high-profile people.
absolutely.
For a short
So-
film, too, so that'll be cool.
Mhm.
Well, this is, it's interesting. We're one door opens, another closes, I guess, because we talked about Futurama coming back. Well, Disenchantment, which is the current running Matt Groening show, is having its final season. My wife loves this show.
I've never seen it.
I've seen clips of it, and I saw a little bit of that when my wife was
It's like
watching
High
it.
Fantasy Simpsons.
Yeah, and it's got some good gags in it. It's just of the three growing shows, Simpsons, Futurama, it's probably like the least good, but it's still got some solid stuff.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you're a fan of the show, I'm sure all the fans are talking about like, oh crap, final season. I mean, I think this will be its 4th or 5th. I mean, for any show to get 4 or 5 seasons, period, that's a win. That's a win. The fact that the show, and unlike The Simpsons or Futurama, it knew when to end. I'll give it that. It's like, okay,
Simpsons is still going.
we had a story to tell, and now we're finishing it. I mean, that's great. I think we should be happy that for those who love this show, got it for that long, and we'll get to see it have a conclusion. You can't really say that about a lot of other shows in history. So I think it'll be good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But kind of going back to talking about superheroes, Gal Gadot said that... That was my cat, sorry. Gal Gadot said that we're getting Wonder Woman World War III?
It says
Whoa,
WW3.
Whoa, Wonder Woman 3. We're getting Wonder Woman 3. But then it was later sort of debunked by DC themselves.
This is crazy. Oh, little kitty.
My cat's yelling at me. So.
This is absolutely crazy. So, this just happened yesterday, where apparently Gal Gadot was like, hey, I had a meeting with James and Peter. Wonder Woman 3 is in development. We're totally doing it. Great. And then Variety, which, again, this isn't like some dumb, freaking website that has no credibility. This is Variety, one of the, if not the,
they're the magazine, right?
They're the news source for movies. That and Hollywood Reporter and maybe IndieWire and Deadline. Like, that's your big 4. So Variety's like, yo, we spoke to some people at Warner Brothers, and they said this is BS. So somebody's lying.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I think about this, I don't think James Gunn has any benefit to lying about this. Saying like, oh, we're totally doing it. We're really not doing it. I think Gal Gadot could benefit of like, hey, I'm getting it, I'm manifesting it, and now it's being taken away from me, so maybe I'll get the sympathy vote.
Yeah.
But even then, if it comes out that she was lying, that's not going to help her. So I don't think it really benefits anybody, period. And this is just quickly becoming a he said.
Yeah.
Oh my god, your cat.
Yeah.
This is quickly becoming a he said, she said mess. I think the most likely scenario is that James, the way he worded it, wasn't as good. So, like, Gal took it the wrong way, and now it's just a huge misunderstanding.
Yeah. I mean, you got a lot to say, Kepler. Yeah, like, so I saw the first one. I really enjoyed the first Wonder Woman film. I haven't seen the second one.
I've heard the second one is not very good.
It's mid. So.
And, a lot of people, there's a lot of debate post this happening of Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. Like, was she even good to begin with? She has her fans, she has her haters. I've always kind of liked her as Wonder Woman because I've always felt it was like a dark horse pick of like, I mean, her acting's not the best, But when you see her in the suit kicking ass, it's like, this looks cool. I mean, I've always thought she looked cool as the part.
Fair.
And, but everyone's making memes now about that stupid... That's like, everyone keeps adding it to like other films and shit. It's really funny. So, I think this is a bit of a mess. And this is just another, like, kind of bump in the road leading to this new DCU set of films where it's like, what's the plan?
I mean, with James Gunn pretty much saying that he's wanting to reboot everything, like he's recasting Superman.
Yeah.
He's recasting Flash. Does it make sense to continue with Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman?
Not at all. If you're
don't
going to
think it
reboot,
does.
hard reboot. But where's
100%.
this misunderstanding come from? Unless he worded it like, hey, you never know, maybe we will do Wonder Woman 3, And then she was like, are you serious?
It's like, more money for me, please?
So, I don't know. I think time will tell, but this is just a mess. It's an absolute he said, she said, she said mess. So, I mean, whose side am I on? I'm right now on Godot's side, because, I can't fathom what she would have to gain to completely lie about this, except maybe just manifesting it so that she can get a sympathy vote. But if she's caught in the lie, she's caught in the lie, and then she'll have nobody on her side.
Nope.
But I'm on her side right now just because it's like, clearly she got the impression. She, for some reason, got the impression. If I was Gunn, I would just be like, look, you're great. Thanks for your service with us, but we're going to move in a different direction. Mm-hmm. That's what it should have been. How else could that have been interpreted? Because Godot's not stupid, If you watch her in interviews, she's a great personality. She's really charming and charismatic. I mean, like, I don't know. This is interesting. Yeah. This is really interesting. This caught my eye, this next thing we're going to talk about. We probably won't dwell on it very long. I just wanted to make note of it because it was so funny. But
Cleo Thomas.
The actor from Holes.
Cleo Thomas.
Zero himself. He fucking won a Mortal Kombat tournament. I guess that's what he's been doing in his spare time.
Yeah.
I think what's funny is, because this was just so interesting, because I just watched this movie a couple weeks ago.
So good.
He won the Mortal Kombat tournament while wearing a power line from the Goofy movie cosplay.
Was this at Gen Con?
I'm not sure where the tournament was held. I didn't really look to. I just saw the pictures of him with the trophy and everything in the costume. I was like, is that what he's been up to? Good on him.
I think he's a TikTok personality. I think that, because I don't think he did really anything of note after he played Zero. At least not movies. He may have been in a few things because they always are.
Yeah.
But interesting.
I thought this was hilarious. I thought it was hilarious. I love seeing shit like that where somebody's in a situation where they're not taking it super seriously. They're having a laugh. Oh. It's all for fun. But apparently he's really good at Mortal Kombat. Who'd have thought? He won this whole tournament.
Ooh, he's a little rabbit. Well, going on to something that I brought to Chaz's attention, and I'm so excited about, Scream 7 is confirmed.
Yeah, which we knew it would. We knew it would.
Oh, absolutely.
Scream 6 did pretty decently for the kind of film it was. It did pretty decently.
Well, and everybody's super high on Jenna Ortega right now, as they should be.
Her popularity is only growing.
She's a superstar. And yeah, I mean, Scream, we talked about this a little bit, I think we both agree that when you're looking at just pure slasher films, it's probably the most consistently good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not my favorite.
Some people don't like Scream 3. A lot of people don't like Scream 4. But I mean, even Scream 4 compared to other horror movies that were coming out that same year.
Yeah, look at Scream 4, which dropped in 2010, which has Hayden Panettiere and Emma Roberts. I enjoyed it. I liked it more than Scream 3. He has the opposite opinion. He likes Scream 3 better than Scream 4, but
I really like that original trilogy.
Yeah, but I mean, look at those movies, the worst of the Scream trilogy compared to the worst of the Halloween trilogy, Halloween series,
or the Friday the 13th,
Friday the 13th, or Nightmare on Elm Street,
or Child's Play, or the Chucky movies.
It's just, and granted, we've gotten more movies from those other series than we have with Scream, but Scream is just consistently good.
Yeah,
my favorite has always been Halloween. I'm a big Halloween guy, but Scream has been the most consistently good, and how they rebooted it with Jenna Ortega at the helm,
which has been doing very well.
Which has been doing so well. Scream 5 and 6 is so refreshing.
So the big news is that Christopher Landon is directing this one. Now, I don't know about you, Billy, but Loki, this has me a little worried because Christopher Landon's big film is what was it? Happy Death Day. Or did you not know that?
No, I don't. I recognize the name.
Let me.
Oh no, our camera froze when you moved the thing, Chaz.
Uh-oh.
We got frozen. That's okay. 1 second. I'll fix us.
I'll look up.
Whoa! Oh no, we broke it, Chaz. You broke it.
I didn't mean to.
Why did you break it?
Well, you fix it. I'm gonna. We're having some technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties.
I'm gonna look up.
That's fine. We'll continue to talk while this is happening. But no, I absolutely adore the Scream
Christopher
series.
Landon. Oh no. Oh yeah. I don't know, Billy. I would be a little worried if I were you.
Really?
He
You're really
wrote the
gonna do me
screenplay
like that?
He wrote the screenplay for We Have a Dad, or We Have a Ghost, which came out this year with David Harbour. That was not very good.
Mm-hmm.
He directed.
We're good. I fixed it.
He did the screenplays for.
Okay, he did Disturbia.
He did the screenplay,
so
but he directed. Yeah, he directed We Have a Ghost and Happy Death Days, which was not good.
So I enjoyed Disturbia though, but
he only wrote that. I mean,
Yeah.
this like his directing. He's directing this movie, and he's directed two pretty big stinkers.
yeah,
Happy Death Day is not a good movie. I would be a little
cool
worried.
idea. It's a cool idea.
It's a cool idea. I would be lying if I didn't say the trailers for that movie intrigued me. But it was just like Bye Bye Man and
Bye Bye Man is like considered the worst horror movie of all. Well, one of the worst horror movies of all time.
It just kind of reminded me of that.
Yeah.
Look,
I'm still gonna watch it.
I'm worried that your claim of consistency will be put to the test now with this choice of director.
But who knows? This might be his big film that he's like,
Maybe.
okay, I'm a good director, guys.
I mean, I don't know. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, because like, for me, Scream really, it's. For me, the Scream franchise, its best thing is its writing because of its commentary
yes.
on horror films through the generations. I mean, that's what made Scream 4 so interesting, is that it touched on like the torture porn era that was
like pioneered by James Wan when James Wan did Saw.
So I'll be curious to see what he brings to the table. But I don't know, man. That's a bad choice.
Yeah. Well, so we're gonna stick on slashers a little bit. I saw this. Now I saw it on TikTok. So
this is rumors. We're just speculating.
Take it with a pinch of salt. I saw it on TikTok, and the TikTok quoted a tweet from a non-confirmed Twitter account that I guess has had some valid takes in the past. But take this with a pinch of salt. There are rumors that Blumhouse. So earlier this year, the copyright, I think it was the copyright for Nightmare on Elm Street, like the rights for Nightmare on Elm Street were up, and a lot of different companies were bidding on it. And according to rumors, Blumhouse.
Which, if that's true, that's huge in and of itself.
If that's true, well, no. I think it's true and confirmed that the rights to make and produce the franchise that is
the IP copyright is up for grabs.
It's not been confirmed who bought it, but it's rumored that Blumhouse bought it and that they're going to do a requel.
They're going to do,
a requel. So, for those of you who don't know what a requel is, think Halloween 2018. Where
so the idea is that it's a sequel to the original.
It's a sequel to the original series. So the big questions that I have are, who's going to play Freddy? Because Robert Englund has said that he's not going to reprise the role. So we're not getting Robert Englund back as Freddy, which...
Let's take it a couple steps back.
Yeah.
If who would you want to get get their hands on this? Who had it before? Do we know? Before?
I don't know. I don't remember this. Well, I mean, we haven't gotten a Nightmare movie since
2011.
Well, I don't really consider that because I think this is going to be after New Nightmare, which New Nightmare was like in the early 2000s.
Right.
But I think it might have been New Line.
Warner Brothers currently owns. Warner Brothers currently owns Nightmare on Elm Street.
But evidently the IP went up. People were bidding on it.
So maybe Warner Brothers will continue to own it.
Because I think everything.
This is all just speculation.
I think everything is done through the Craven estate. So
if Warner Brothers keeps it, I don't think they're going to touch it. It's kind of a dead in the water IP right now.
So I'm 50-50 on that because we've gotten requels for Scream.
Well, Universal seemed to have decent success, at least with the first one, with Halloween 2018.
So Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends.
Not good.
Awful.
Not good.
Awful.
They fucked it up.
Halloween 2018 was incredible.
A lot of people loved it.
We got the new Chucky series,
which
people
has
loved.
its fans. Yeah.
We got the 2 new Scream movies, which people love.
So we're seeing a surge in some kind of dead in the water horror IPs resurfacing.
And they're
but
kind of
the
hit and
big
miss,
two, Friday and Nightmare, have kind of
since 2010.
Yeah, haven't been touched in a while.
We had a Friday the 13th.
Which, it's been over a decade. So that if you wanted to do it, now's the time.
Well, it's now because people are loving slashers right now. People are loving slashers.
Well, people are really loving horror.
Yeah.
Because we've seen low-budget horror films make bank and do, smile.
Yeah. Smile. We're going to touch on this one later.
Meg.
Talk to me.
Talk to me, which we'll touch on. I mean, we've been seeing horror, indie horror, really not only do well critically and audience-wise, but making bank at the box office. Because they're making it for low budgets, and they're becoming a huge success.
Yes. Nightmare on Elm Street they're in the big 4 of slasher movies. Yeah. The big 4 being Halloween.
Who doesn't know Freddy Krueger?
Yeah. Halloween, Friday the 13th, Scream,
So if Warner Brothers kept it, I wouldn't be shocked if they're like, we're going to do something new. But I think they're focusing on other things, and especially with Barbie doing well.
Yeah.
We're kind of seeing the direction they're probably going to head.
And so
they haven't really been doing a lot of horror. Lately.
So let's put our tinfoil hats on and just speculate for a second.
If Universal got their hands on, they might try to do a Halloween 2018 with Nightmare on Elm Street, because they were one of the first to do it.
Yeah. I hope Blumhouse gets it.
If Blumhouse gets it, what they have is that, okay, they know how to make movies for dirt cheap that do well at the box office. Now they've got a recognizable IP on their hands. Mm-hmm. But how do you do a Nightmare on Elm Street movie
without Robert Englund?
Not even that, with a low budget. I'm not thinking it from actors and characters. I'm thinking it from production-wise.
Well, historically, all of the Nightmare movies have been low budget. I don't think the budget for any of those movies ever got over $20 million.
But see, that
was also in
the last movie.
And
yeah, and right now we've been seeing studios really spend a lot of money. Now, that's not Blumhouse. Mm-hmm. So I think Blumhouse could really do something creative with this, because they've been shown to not only make horror movies dirt cheap, but they make bank.
Yeah.
Invisible Man, Black Phone.
People are excited
Meg, Smile. I don't think Smile was Blumhouse, but
people are really excited for the Five Nights at Freddy's film. But I think that if we're gonna do a requel for Nightmare on Elm Street, it's gonna be hard to do a requel without Robert Englund, which makes me more inclined to say that they're going to try to do a reboot, because a requel you would have to have Robert Englund, since it's a continuation of the original series.
Not necessarily true. I think people who have the mentality.
Well,
I think it's you're so hung up, because think of it this way: had any other actor gotten that role, we'd be saying the same thing about them.
Yes. Here's why I'm saying that. It's easier to do a requel for a slasher movie when they're under a mask. Like with Jason, with Michael, with Leatherface.
But the main character of the Halloween was Laurie Strode. It's the fact that they got Jamie Lee Curtis back. Yeah.
So if you do a requel
with Friday the 13th, you don't really have anybody, because it's about Jason.
Yeah, but with Nightmare on Elm Street, Robert Englund is Freddy Krueger, and one of the big reasons people hated the 2010-2011 reboot was because it wasn't Robert Englund.
But that's not the main reason. Main reason is that was just sucked. That just was a bad film.
So if they do get it and they do make it, whatever. I hope director-wise we get someone like James Wan, because so those of you who may have not heard that name before, James Wan, he was the creator of Saw. I think he did the first 2 or 3. He also did the first 2 Conjuring films. Yeah. He
started
Annabelle.
that whole cinematic universe.
Like James Wan is like a low-key horror genius.
He's cool. He's not my favorite. I've been very hit or miss on all that stuff, if I'm being honest.
Fair. But it's hard to deny the first.
For me, the only thing I would want, because I love the first Friday Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, it's a phenomenal film.
I was able to see it in theaters on a re-release during Halloween.
Oh, it's so good.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
What they do in that movie.
Johnny Depp's first film.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that?
I think Jesus Christ, I've got Friday the 13th on the brain.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
You can see who I was rooting for in Freddy vs. Jason.
Yeah.
I think what I would want because I feel like we've lost this element of this franchise. Because let's look at the remake. It's the most recent Friday the 13th. Sorry. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yep.
Media.
Yep.
They tried to do some backstory of who Freddy was and all this crap.
And they kept it true to the source material of like he kills
so
kids.
Bland. And what was it missing? The nightmares.
The dream sequences.
I feel like if whoever gets their hands on this, period, I want to see the dream element up full. Yeah, that's what I want to see.
I feel like the two
because
studios...
Freddy works best as like a boss, like a.
Well, so like Freddy, even in the movies, he's never been. He's not going to be a guy like Jason or Michael, where it's like you can shoot him 1,000 times and they don't die.
He can be defeated.
He can be defeated.
But the whole point is that what I love about the first movie is that he's not the focus, and I feel like that's where a lot of the sequels have. He is a villain of the movie, but your focus is who is being hunted by him, and you don't. And how do they defeat him?
You don't get a lot of good looks at him. You get peeks and you get glances, but
whoever does it, and this is why I would like it if Blumhouse got it or any other studio.
I think Blumhouse or A24.
I don't think A24 would touch this. It's just not in their wheelhouse.
But I feel like they could because they're not a huge IP company. But
they're not. They do horror, but.
I mean, they've done some of the best.
Again, they don't do like you said. They don't really do IP. This isn't really in their wheelhouse. Blumhouse, though, I think it would benefit them. But how would you do the dream sequences stuff on a low budget? That's what I'm curious.
But I mean, they did it with the OG movies, and those movies were low budget, even relative to the other movies coming out at the time.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's doable. It's doable.
But right now, this is all speculation. Yeah. I think we won't really know.
It's all speculation. Nothing has been confirmed yet. Because even after people said that Blumhouse bought it, there was news that came out that Blumhouse didn't get it, but then that was recanted. It's
we'll have to wait and see.
It just nobody knows yet, but whatever. So let's go on to
this
Disney.
Blew my mind.
Disney.
Is Disney dumb?
Yeah.
This was a joke. I looked at, double checked it, but this was Disbussin' film. So they got me at first, but I wanted to put this in because it just made me laugh so much. So whatever I'm about to say isn't true, but for those of you who are heavy on Twitter, especially in the film Twitter sphere, you know Discussing Film. Well, there's a great parody account called Disbussin' Film that just releases dumb headlines, and a lot of times people fall for it.
Yep.
Well, I'll admit this one kind of got me at first because I was like, I'm not shocked. They put out a great tweet saying, Disney will put out a animated remake of the live-action Lion King. And I was like, when I read that, I was like, are they stupid?
Yep.
But then I was like, oh, it's Disbussin' Film.
There was another one that I saw that it was like, Disney is doing a live-action version of Tangled, and they've cast Jada Pinkett Smith as Rapunzel.
Actually, I've been seeing some buzz about that where people are like, yo, Florence Pugh should be...
100%. Florence Pugh's a queen.
This is a joke. So. This isn't news.
No.
I just wanted to shout it out because it was so funny. But let's be honest. If this actually happened, would any of us be shocked? All right, moving on to some actual news.
Peach Creek Episode 1. The unofficial Ed, and Eddy sequel. Episode 1 dropped. I liked it.
Mr. Young here thought he had the one up with me when he... Dude, I've been subscribed to this when it was first announced.
Yeah.
Putting my hipster cap on. I've known about Peach Creek since the beginning.
I've known about Peach Creek for a
I've
while.
been subscribed to them since the beginning. Just waiting. And in my feed, Episode 1, I was so ecstatic.
And it's
great.
It's great.
It's great.
Don't go into it thinking that the animation style is going to be the same.
Well, okay. Well, actually, they do. They have their own style, but there is a sequence, without spoiling anything, where they like faithfully recreate the original animation style. So, what you should be saying is, don't go into this expecting this zany, over the top energy that the original's known for. This is like they're young adults now.
Yeah.
It's a way more chill vibe. Think like honestly, Life is Strange.
Yes.
Is how I would. Now, if you hate Life is Strange, don't watch this.
I love Life is Strange.
But if you like that vibe with the acoustic indie music in the background, and it's all chill vibes and whatnot. But there's a dark, unsettling. Also, it's totally Life is Strange vibes.
And it seems more adult oriented, at least from what I saw.
But dude, to see a project like this get off the ground, get made, what a dub!
Yeah.
And it's great. It was well made, well voice acted,
and like Ed, and Eddy is one of those shows. Like if you're looking at like, if someone were to make a list of like what are some of the best animated kids shows of all time,
I put Ed
and Eddy would be like top 25 for me.
One of the best kids movies ever.
Big Picture Show.
Big Picture Show.
Big Picture Show was unbelievably good.
Yeah, what a send off.
Yeah, and it's a top 5 Cartoon Network show.
This is a great example of faithfully, faithfully paying respect to the original, but giving your own twist on it.
Absolutely.
I mean, really though, definitely anybody watching, and you're a fan of the show, and you want to support like low budget talent or like underground stuff, check out Peach Creek. It's great, and I hope it doesn't get taken down like that.
I don't think it.
Well, I don't know if you, but there was that Total Drama Island fan show that came out. It got. Oh, dude, people were pissed.
Yeah.
So I hope Peach Creek doesn't suffer the same fate.
Well, so kind of sticking on the same topic of like. They're faithful to the source material, but they did their own twist on it. We saw Turtles.
Mutant Mayhem.
It's so good.
It is incredible,
dude. It's the best
easily
adaptation of the Turtles.
Well, it's the best theatrical TMNT movie. Period. It is not a contest.
No.
It's the best.
No.
For a couple of reasons. One, it's so unique. It's so funny. The action's great. The voice acting is phenomenal.
100%. They're kids too,
and they're actual teenagers. They're actual teens.
Because like if you look at the 2007 animated film, they purposefully made them adults because this was like Leo's been in the jungle for like 15 years because he doesn't think he's a good leader. And then you look at the Michael Bay thing, where like they're adults.
They look like
they're 80s.
Yeah.
But and even in like the original 3 shows,
you still got the
like
vibe
adults.
that like, are they really teens? Yeah.
But like they're kids.
They're actually, and the kids are great. They're great.
One of the biggest things I can say about this movie is the chemistry with the actors.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Jackie Chan.
Ice Cube?
Ice Cube is so sick.
This is one of his best performances.
Yeah.
He's great in this.
Ice Cube is great. Jackie Chan is phenomenal.
Great in this too.
The Rock and Seth Rogen are great.
John Cena.
John Cena, my bad. John Cena and I was thinking Rocksteady. But John Cena and Seth Rogen is Bebop and Rocksteady.
They're
is
funny.
Great.
They're funny.
Paul Rudd is Mondo Gecko.
Humans got to go, dude.
Mr. Beast voiced a character in this movie.
He had a little cameo.
He had a little cameo as a character in
the film's not doing hot. But it only had a budget of $75 million. It made $43 million domestically and $8.5 million internationally.
But it's
so
only
I love that the international audience is like 3-hour movie about the atomic bomb. Yes.
Let's go.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Fuck no. Get that shit out of here.
Yeah, but see, like we're only a week and a half in. So there's still time.
Let's see.
Yeah, go to Box Office Mojo.
I haven't checked it in a hot minute. So let's see.
So has it been confirmed that we're getting another one?
Well, even before this movie came out, Paramount was like, "We're doing a sequel and a show."
Good.
So if that's still happening, yes, please. Now here's the big thing I want to talk about: the animation style. When I first saw the trailers, my first thought was, "Man, Spider-Verse really changed the game, didn't it?" But here's the thing: just like Puss in Boots / Witch, which had elements, but it was still its own. This too, man. It's like, okay, there's this new kind of animation style hitting the streets. We're going to take inspiration from it, but we're still going to do our own thing. I love that this movie's like doodle art. Like in your notebook, everything's crude. It doesn't fully match. The human designs are kind of ugly. It's great, dude. And it's just so Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I loved it.
It's fantastic. It's such a good movie, and I think that I feel like the Turtles are one of those IPs that like every generation needs to have their Turtles.
Yeah.
And the Gen X generation,
domestic 61, international 9,
it made money.
Worldwide 70 mil. If it keeps up like this, it'll totally make it'll be a little profitable.
Yeah.
It won't It's not going to do great, but for the budget and what kind of film it was, that's great.
Yeah.
Dude, go support this movie.
Yeah, 100%. Go see this movie. And, it makes sense that we're getting a sequel because, and this isn't a spoiler, but in this movie there is no Casey Jones and there's no Shredder.
But Shredder was teased.
Shredder was teased.
As to be expected. Yeah. Post-credit scene,
but,
obviously.
Shredder is... Oh, I didn't even know there was a post-credit scene because I didn't stay for it. I need to go back and watch it again and see it.
Yeah, because they teased Shredder.
So, so Shredder is the enemy.
But I want to see... you're right. Casey Jones is my favorite character. I want to see him in this style. I want to see him
100%. And do you think that they'll tease like the love interest between April and Casey, or do you think they'll try to keep that separate?
Well, okay. April's a child, so
fair. But like in every adaptation, they've been a thing. But
that would mean Casey would have to be a high schooler. I want Casey to be like a young, like a 20-something,
mid-20s,
or a 30-something, where he's like, "You're all kids." I wanted to be. I would love that dynamic of like, "You're a bunch of kids. Okay, let's do this." I don't want a high school Casey Jones. But, hey, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I feel like whatever they do, it's going to be good.
I kind of like, again, a big thing for Turtle fans, going to this, it's a different telling of the story.
Yeah.
They change a lot of things. But it's such a fresh perspective and take on the Turtles. We've had 1, 2, 3, 6. We have had 6 theatrical Turtles all the same. This is like something new, something different. But like Leonardo's the one that's got him and April have like a thing, because usually in most media it's Donatello it's Donatello that's the ones that kind of has a relation. Like the most recent Nickelodeon show, they played into that heavily, like that romance between them. And then in the movies, it was April and Casey Jones that had a relationship.
Yeah,
I think it's cool that like Leonardo's the one that's like have a hots for April. I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But, I don't want Casey Jones to be some, like, high schooler. That's lame.
And, they did their own thing with it, but they also kind of kept it close to the source material because in the original comics, and we talked about this earlier, April's black.
Yeah, I mean, go figure, like, oh, no, they changed.
Oh, no, they unwhitewashed a character and we're pissed
about it. Now, I will
say,
if there's anything to be sad about, but again, like, these are teenagers. But, like, April's always been hot, a hot redhead in a tight raincoat bodysuit.
Yeah.
Now it's a... like a 13-year-old girl.
They're all high schoolers.
And
they talked about
excuse me, 14-year-old girl.
Well, they talked about prom, so she's at least a junior.
She's
so
at least
16, 16 or 17.
Yeah, but
still,
there's people like on Twitter like she's ugly. I'm like, she's a kid.
Yeah, she's a child.
What's the matter with you?
Yeah, and
movie's great, fun time. It's got some emotion to it. Excellent action. Great voice acting. What's not to love?
And we're gonna stick with the Turtles because we're getting the Last Ronin.
Yeah, Last Ronin video game. There's been some buzz about this, and the development has been revealed. Like it's in development. They're making it, so that's great. Because if this game's great, that's 2 for 2. Because that Turtles arcade game that came out not too long ago. I don't know if you played it.
I haven't.
I played it for a while. That was great. So. And people love The Last Ronin. It's easily one of the best like modern TMNT concepts.
It's very adult oriented, like samurai.
But I've seen some people be like, look, there's that Nickelodeon logo. This game's gonna be rated like T. It's not gonna be like gory, slash.
I don't think it has to be though. I don't think it has to be. But it's being developed by the same company that did the Destroy All Humans games. So
yeah, which a lot of people like.
A lot of people like. They're kind of gory, but they're still T for teen.
So we'll see. We'll see. I think it's a good day to be a Turtles fan. That's what I'm saying.
So. It's a bad day to be a Rockstar fan.
Or specifically a Red Dead fan. So last episode we talked about the rumors that there's been kind of some whispers that like, oh, is Rockstar gonna remake Red Dead 1 for modern consoles? Nope. No. They're just re-releasing the game with no changes at full price. Fucking dumbasses, dude. What the hell? I was so sad.
And people are going to buy it.
Rockstar's getting cooked.
People are going to buy it, though, is the thing.
I don't know, man. Even a chump will be like, so I'm not getting anything? The only reason you want to get this is to have Red Dead and Red Dead 1 on the same console. But, like, dude, if you've got an Xbox, you can just buy this on the market. You don't need, or get PlayStation Plus. You don't need to buy, like, this is so stupid. This is such a horribly hid cash grab. It's insulting. It's really insulting. And this is every game company has been guilty of, like loot crates and shit like pay to play and all that crap. But Rockstar has usually not been too bad about it. This is some EA shit.
Speaking of microtransactions, people are actually really happy with Baldur's Gate 3 because there are 0 microtransactions, 0 DLC. When you buy the game,
I can't wait till that game
everything.
comes on console.
You get everything.
Dude, okay. Was hoping for a full updated graphics remake, a bit of an ask, maybe. But the fact that there's no changes, the only change I would maybe change the dialogue a little bit, so that
they updated and remastered LA Noire, and that game's nowhere near as huge as Red Dead.
Battle for Bikini Bottom full remake, HD remake. Come on,
we got 18 different remasters of Kingdom Hearts.
I think
there's Kingdom Hearts
the fact that
2.8.
it's the exact same game with no updated graphics to match HD. It's literally the same game from the Xbox 360 with full price tag is so insulting. It's so insulting as a fan and a consumer. Don't waste your money. Don't waste your money. Don't buy this, so that tells Rockstar, oh shit, maybe
Yeah. So, I forgot to add this to the list, but since we're on the topic of video games, the trailer for the new South Park video game dropped.
Yeah,
South Park,
ass.
It's called South Park Snow Day?
Yeah.
And it's 3D.
It looks pretty
Why?
bad.
It looks so bad. But
especially
it's going to be good.
well, I don't know. You should never assume.
The first 2 South Park games were fantastic, and that's because Matt and Trey had their hands all over it. They wouldn't.
Do we know that this is the same kind of deal? Is this the same team that made those 2 games, or is this something different?
I don't know any of the specifics when it comes to the publisher or the developers behind it. I don't know any of that. All I know is that it is confirmed that we are getting a 3D South Park game.
I'm skeptical because
it looks so bad.
It looks awful. It looks like the Nintendo 64 South Park games.
Where they were throwing shit at the turkey?
Yeah, it looks like that.
What if that's what we're getting? It's because that one it was like snow and you were throwing snowballs at turkeys, and this one's called Snow Day.
Genius.
Is this going to be the Superman 64 of this modern generation?
I don't know.
It's the worst game. But
I don't know.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on that. It wasn't on the list to talk about, but
now,
another
good news for you.
Another good news for me. Talk to Me is getting a sequel,
yeah.
which is great. And they also, and I think this is the first time that A24 has done it. They are making replicas of the Hand that you can buy.
That's cool.
You can buy your own copies of it. But
I still haven't seen this movie. I'm waiting for it to come on streaming. Because it's really been catching my attention.
It's showing in a town over from us. So, if you want to go see it, it's showing 30 minutes away.
I'm very limited with what I can see in theaters, so I pick and choose wisely.
But it's so I've seen it. Chaz hasn't.
I know you love it. It's your favorite film of the year so far.
It's my favorite film of the year so far. And honestly, if you look at A24 horror films, this one might beat Midsommar and Hereditary.
Do you think it needs a sequel? That's the question.
Yes and no. Yes, because I just want more. No, because I'm afraid that doing a sequel is going to pull you out of it.
Well, do you think it could warrant a sequel? How did did the story end where it's this could go somewhere?
Yes and no.
Because I've heard what the concept of the film is. I'm you could do something with that,
Yes and no. It's the same thing when you look at the Annabelle movies. So we got 3 Annabelle movies. We got Annabelle, Annabelle Creation, and Annabelle Comes Home. Did we need Creation and Comes Home? No, but Creation was honestly kind of great. Comes Home was mid. Do we need a Talk to Me sequel? No. Is it going to be good? Probably. It's A24. Talk to Me it's my favorite movie of the year. I watched it. I saw it. I went out of that movie genuinely shaking and genuinely.
I've heard it's really scary.
Genuinely feeling dread, and I haven't been genuinely affected by a horror movie in a very long time. And it's so refreshing that we got a movie like Talk to Me that can do that.
Yeah.
And so, am I happy there's a sequel? Yes. Do I think it's going to be as good as the first one? No. But, I'm just glad we're getting good
shout
movies,
out to the 2 YouTubers that made this film. They're probably like popping champagne bottles right now. Like this could not have been a better scenario for them.
So the movie technically came out 2021, I think, was when
it was doing well in festivals.
It was doing well in festivals, but then A24 got their hands on it and then brought it to theaters, and if anywhere near you is showing, talk to me, because it's not in every theater. It's definitely more of like a low key theatrical film.
You got to go to one of your big theaters.
You got to go see it. But yeah, so
history is being made right now, but specifically, the Marvel VFX team is trying to unionize.
Yeah, good for them.
And with all the strikes going on, I think this was inevitable. Now, I won't get into all the major specifics because there's a lot of information here, and I would encourage anyone who's interested to just do your own research on it. But basically, Marvel specific, because they bid a lot of other different companies to do all those VFX for them. But they do have a VFX team of like 50 people. Those 50 people are trying to unionize. Mm-hmm. And all you really need is like one domino to fall before other companies are like, or other like teams are like, we should do the same.
Yep.
If this goes well, this could set an entirely huge precedent, and we could be having like a VFX,
I think we should.
Like WGA, SG, SAG for VFX artists, because they desperately need it.
Every industry on planet Earth needs a union. I don't think that's a bad thing to say.
I'm really curious how this will go. Because I think if this succeeds, it could just mean so many different things, and it'll completely change the landscape of the movie industry.
Well, I think it'll do nothing but help the movie industry. I think it'll make movies better, because people aren't going to be bitter about working on things anymore.
Yeah. Well, and people constantly complain about like, man, that CGI sucked. That VFX sucked. It's like, because they're getting overworked. And their deadlines are so unreasonable.
Overworked, underpaid. Yeah.
I mean, like, they're doing the best they can. They're doing the best they can. Mm-hmm. So, if this could only mean good things for the quality of work we could get and the quality of working for those doing it. But it's a sticky situation with a lot of different layers. We're not in the industry. We're just some average Joes. But we're
care about actors, though.
We both care. Oh, we're not in L.A. we're not working actors. Just we've done some acting, and I've done some like independent filmmaking. Mm-hmm. I think it's great, and this is a long time coming. Time coming. 100%. So I wish them the absolute best.
Absolutely.
Speaking about the strikes, though,
we got some new updates on delays and some changes.
The live action How to Train Your Dragon movie's been delayed. So, I mean, I think it's just another hit to the studios for the SAG strikes. Mm-hmm. But the big one everyone's talking about is that Sonic 3 is continuing to do into production without their SAG actors.
Yeah, so it's continuing into production, but the scenes that they are continuing to film are all the scenes without live action actors. So they're continuing to work on scenes that just have Sonic or Knuckles.
There's been a lot of discuss about this. There's a couple different layers. One being, those crew members and stuff should stand in solidarity. Look, hey, they aren't in a union.
No,
they're trying to get their paycheck.
Yeah,
they're not scabbing because they're not a part of that union. Exactly. And they're a different entity altogether. Like, no, they shouldn't. They need to make a living. They're not in the same boat as you.
Yeah, and they're not protected by union. Because, like, say if they decided to picket, they're not in a union, so they can just be fired. And here's the thing:
there's only so much production that this movie can do, because obviously they can do a lot of like establishing shots and setup shots where they'll eventually add like Sonic and crew into. But eventually there's going to be a point where it's like, okay, we've done all we can do. We really need those actors now. I don't think this really means anything in the long run, because I think eventually you'll see this be delayed, especially if the SAG strikes go on like even longer than anticipated. Mm-hmm. But the people freaking out about this, it's crazy that they're like, we're going to continue working on this film.
Yeah.
But it's a heavily VFX film, and again, if the VFX workers were in a union and were on strike, hell no, they would not be working on this.
Not at all.
This was something that caught my eye. I don't know how much.
I haven't read into this, but I've seen it.
There are talks that some of these studios might bundle their streaming services,
which we've already seen with HBO Max bundling with Discovery Plus.
But anybody who's been on Max knows that most of Discovery Plus's content is already on Max. I mean, they're eventually going to get rid of that Discovery app. But
it has been bundled, and they changed the name to Max. So
and obviously, if you don't know, Disney bundles Hulu and ESPN, but they own both those things.
Yeah, but bundled with ESPN, and it's honestly relatively cheap. I think I pay $13.99, and I get ESPN Plus.
But we're talking
Hulu
like
and
Max,
Plus.
Paramount Plus, Peacock, Disney Plus, like bundling together as like a full package. So think of it like back in the cable days where you would buy a full cable package and get all those channels. That's what we're essentially seeing. And I feel like a lot of people saw this coming where streaming is just the newer version of cable. You know, it's going through the same motions that cable did.
Yeah.
I've been saying for a long time, I wish there was just one streaming service with all that crap on it, and you paid like $100 a year for it, or you pay like a set amount for it, and you have all that content.
That's called DirecTV.
Yeah, well, that's what I want.
It's called cable.
There's also been a lot of discussion of like what we could see for streaming services. Period of like, you know, will there just be ad tiers? Will there not be a ad free version anymore? Or if there is an ad free, it's going to be like double price.
Yeah, it's going to be. Well, I mean,
because the studios ironically make more with the cheaper version with ads because of that revenue they make.
Ad revenue, yeah.
And honestly, for the actors and writers, that would be good too because that would be generating money for residuals. So really, it'd be a win for everybody. It's just we as consumers, we gotta watch ads now.
Yeah.
Which is the whole beauty of streaming is we didn't have to watch ads anymore.
Yeah, but see, like I'm under the assumption like every streaming service is going to have a tier with ads and they're going to have a tier without ads, but the price is just going to go up. So like Spotify went up by $1. Like Spotify Premium, I think you're paying $13.99.
Disney
now.
Plus and Hulu raised their price. It's now $13.99 for Disney and fucking $17.99 for. I hate Hulu. I hate Hulu.
You could get Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus together for $13.99.
You know what they're trying to do? They're trying to be like. Cause
get that bundle.
Anybody who knows anything, Hulu is eventually just going to be merged with Disney Plus, so it's just Disney Plus.
Yeah,
I think they're wanting people to get used to that bundle of like $20 for the whole bundle.
It's $13.99, dude.
I think they have different tiers, but like
maybe
for most people, I think the bundle is like $20. But if it comes out that like, hey, you're already paying $20 for the bundle, we're just morphing Hulu and Disney Plus together. And it's still $20. I think they're just getting consumers used to that idea.
Yeah,
especially with these dude, Disney Plus being $13. I mean, that's still a good price. I hate Hulu, and the fact that anybody would pay $17.99 for that crap is just beyond me.
Do you remember when Hulu used to be free? Because I do.
Mm-hmm.
I remember going to Hulu.com and watching stuff for free with like minimal ads.
But
that was also like 2013.
Now it's like $15 for the ad version, and they play like 17 ads
in
every episode and every movie. It's like, get this out of my face. I hate Hulu, dude. So yeah, I think this could be. I think we're literally just seeing history repeat itself with this bundling stuff.
And if you look at Hulu and what Hulu is doing, they're doing the same thing that Tubi and Freevee are doing. Because Tubi and Freevee like have been upping their game on the stuff that they have.
Yeah. Dude, what you can watch on Tubi is crazy.
Tubi is fantastic.
It makes me so happy when I try to find this obscure movie, and the first thing I see, I'm like, Tubi, let's go!
It's on Tubi or Freevee, and see, Freevee is owned by Amazon.
Yeah.
So some of the stuff that you have on Amazon Prime, you can get on Freevee. So yeah, I don't know,
but I think we're seeing history repeat itself, honestly, and I'll be curious to see like what the ultimate end game for the streaming industry is going to be, because it's still we're still in the infant stage of it.
Yeah,
and I think this is just another step.
Well, and we're gonna keep getting streaming service after streaming service because everybody's gonna jump on it. Like our next topic, NASA. But see,
Billy wanted to talk about this.
I wanted to talk about this.
I saw this and I thought it was cute, but like.
But so I think this is gonna send a message. NASA is launching their own streaming service that is no cost and ad free. So when this shit comes out, all of us motherfuckers better watch this. We better show these companies that we're gonna watch your stuff if you make it easier for us to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, NASA deserves love anyway.
But what are they gonna like?
Dude, they could get Cosmos.
But what if they put like, hey, you can watch the next launch live on NASA Plus?
That's what they'll do.
But then what if it blows up? It's like a snuff film.
I mean, but what if
what if the launch fails?
Okay, what if you watch UFC and somebody dies? You're watching wrestling, somebody dies. Like it's
that's true. But they would.
And I feel like it's harder to die during a NASA launch than it is like fighting.
Unless the ship explodes.
Yeah, but think about how many times in history the ship has exploded versus how many times like you've seen someone get seriously injured in a UFC
That's true.
match.
That's true.
So, but
this is funny. I'd be really curious what content would be on here.
Well, and here's my thought. Cosmos, the original Carl Sagan, they'll get Cosmos with Neil deGrasse Tyson, or it could be the same thing as like the Discovery Channel or Animal Planet, where they make shows that are just tailored around space.
Which would be cool.
Like, I love Neil deGrasse Tyson. Imagine getting a bunch of Neil deGrasse Tyson stuff. You know?
A Pawn Stars like, we gotta build a ship and like mechanic.
Dude, they might reboot Bill Nye.
That'd be cool.
See, I feel like this is definitely going to be good for schools too, for science classes.
Oh yeah.
Because I know you and I both remember like we'll go into science class and the best day was when we had the TV with the VCR playing Bill Nye.
Yeah. Or Mythbusters.
Or Mythbusters, and that's another show that I could see do. Like
that'd be cool.
NASA could just do the science stuff, and it being no cost and ad free is huge.
Yeah.
Which I feel like the reason that they're doing that is because they're a government entity, and so it'd be kind of weird that you're having to pay the government even more.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
But I mean, I still think it's huge, and I think it's great. I am going to subscribe to it.
I'll wait and see. I'm cautiously optimistic.
But all right, on to our last bit. Chaz, I'll let you do this because I have no fucking idea about any of this.
So Billy hasn't seen any of the John Wick films.
Nope.
Which he should. It's one of easily the best action franchise, the modern action franchises in.
It's our Rambo.
Yeah, it's our Die Hard. It's our Rambo. It's just changed the game for action films in terms of choreography. It's one of Keanu Reeves' best characters, and it's just a consistent. You want to talk about consistency? Every film is getting better and better. Like the first one and the fourth one that came out is my second favorite of the franchise, and I love all the films. But Peacock is dropping a spin-off show that I've kind of been interested in called The Continental, which if you're a John Wick fan, you know is kind of one of the home bases for the assassins. It's like a hotel. And this is kind of a prequel story of that particular location. So it's like some cool lore stuff for the franchise. The trailer dropped. Looks pretty spicy. Now, I'm going into this like I haven't really been paying attention much to Peacock's original content.
Twisted Metal, you said.
But I freaking love Twisted Metal. So I'm like, if this is any indication of their original programming, I'm pretty excited for this. And as a John Wick fan, it's like a must-watch because like any John Wick content, I'm all about because I've been such a huge fan of the franchise. So the trailer dropped, it looks spicy, and I love that it's like a 3 mini-series event of like 3 big parts that are dropping. I think that's cool. So it's not like a TV show really. It's more of just a mini-series. I'm very excited for this. Billy, you got to get on some John Wick, dude. I especially like you like animals, right?
Yeah, I mean, I have 2 cats, so I mean, I guess so. But listen, and this was, I'm going to talk about The Big Lebowski for a second. My review for The Big Lebowski on Letterboxd is fuck John Wick's dog. That rug really tied the room together. Yeah. John Wick, they took inspiration from The Big Lebowski, man. They had to have.
Well, dude, like from the beginning, it's like there was some people out there. Dog. If you hurt a dog, I want blood. Like if you kill a dog, kill an animal of any kind, like there needs to be blood to pay. I love the movies. They're not only great action films, but their mythos, their lore, their world building. It's exceptional.
Yeah, see, I've never been a huge action movie guy. You know, I think that's I don't like the over the top action like bonkers stuff. I've wanted to watch the Mission Impossible series, but I'm afraid that I'm not gonna like it.
But see, the Mission Impossible series aren't over the top action.
Yeah,
they're really not. Like I wouldn't compare John Wick to Mission Impossible. What John Wick excels at is like fast paced. Highly choreographed, brutal action. You know, where
see, that's never been. I've never sought out that.
But
type
I think
of content.
you, as especially someone who's emotionally driven,
fair.
The character of John Wick, there's so much you could get out of, and the lore of the world. I think that for sure would interest you.
I mean, yeah.
Which is why I like a show like this, where it's more about like world building. You know, I think, especially if you're a fan of the series, this is a must watch. We will be watching. I will be watching.
I will not. So I will let him talk about it when it drops. So.
Well, that's it. The only other thing I want to mention, Billy, what movies have you seen this week?
I saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Here, let me just pull up my letterbox so that I can just show you my most recent watches. So I rewatched Annie Hall for the first time since my first viewing with my girlfriend. I think that it's the best rom-com ever made. I know that you think that...
He has not seen When Harry Met Sally yet.
I have not.
Just want to preference that.
I have not, but, you know...
Which is my favorite rom-com.
You know, fuck Woody Allen, right?
Yeah.
But, like...
We know this.
You know, Annie Hall, in my opinion, is one of the most beautifully edited movies. And
I know
you're a big editor. So.
Well, yes, but I've always appreciated the dialogue of that movie.
Oh, it's so great.
It's really funny.
It's so great. Let's see, Turtles. I rewatched the first Nightmare on Elm Street. I watched, and you kind of got hot with me about this. I watched the Super Mario Brothers movie, and
yeah, Billy didn't understand it.
So it's one of the most beautifully animated movies I've ever seen, but it's so mid.
Terrible.
It's just
awful.
So middle, and see, but it's not bad. It's not bad. It's just not great.
I just hate that word, dude.
It's just so middle of the line, you know. But I had to have watched more this week. Let's see. Oh, well, okay, and then I watched a wrestling documentary.
Mm-hmm.
Peacock just dropped the American Nightmare Becoming Cody Rhodes, and that was pretty good. And so that's one thing the WWE is known for is their promo packages and their documentaries. They're fantastic. So if you're a wrestling fan, I definitely recommend checking that one out. And earlier this year they dropped Woo, the Ric Flair story, and that's another really great one. So
what I've watched, I watched some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies. I watched the original trilogy from the 90s.
They're so good.
Well,
they're okay. They're
first
so
one's
bad.
solid. The second one's okay, and the third one is pretty weird.
but I mean, they're so nostalgic.
I watched a movie called Hidden Strike, featuring Jackie Chan and John Cena.
I've heard about that movie. I've heard about it.
It was good. I liked it. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Seeing Jackie Chan and John Cena do the Jackie Chan fighting is a lot of fun. The movie is like so visual effects heavy. It's like they're in a video game. So it was some decent action. I enjoyed it. I also watched this movie called Cover Versions, which was like a murder mystery.
Okay.
Listen to this cast. Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
Jerry Trainer. Drake Bell.
Is this a Nickelodeon thing?
No. And Debbie Ryan. Radio Rebel herself. Yep. So, this is a movie from 2018. I don't know what studio. I don't know any affiliation. It just had these notable actors.
Cover tracks, you said?
Cover versions.
Cover versions.
It's called that because it's a murder mystery where these band members retell this story of like where it ends up a girl gets where a girl dies, and they each give a different version of the story. So you don't know who's telling the truth. You don't know who's lying.
This cast is so weird.
I know, but like what caught my eye was the weird cast. Because like I love Jerry Trainer, I appreciate Drake Bell's work despite his recent, and then of course Debbie Ryan is a national treasure. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, this is interesting, but I didn't know. But like the movie, I give it an 8 out of 10. The movie was solid. Had a really cool mystery. It kept me guessing. I thought the performances were pretty solid. It just had a lot of twists and turns. It was a well-done mystery. And, again, just seeing Jerry Trainer and Drake Bell together on screen, but, like, not in a Drake and Josh context was really bizarre.
It is kind of weird. It's Sony Pictures.
Yeah, Sony Pictures. I recommend it, especially if you're, like, if you, like, because this kind of storytelling is
so weird.
I know, it's a bizarre one. But if you're into, like, stories where it's a retelling of the same story, but from different perspectives or different versions of the same story. You'll love this one. It's really interesting. I highly recommend it. Especially if you're a Nickelodeon and Disney fan. Like, again, the cast is so bizarre.
Such a weird cast, but I think that's
well. And then I've been watching Spider-Man Lotus. This is what we'll end on with. I'm not finished with it, but if you know all the controversy around this film, this is one that's been on the radar for quite some time. It finally dropped to the public on YouTube yesterday. What a melodramatic mess, dude. My God.
Chaz hates anything emotional and just thinks it's melodramatic.
No, I call this soap opera Spider-Man.
Yeah,
like I love emotion as like, dude, I'll cry in any. I could cry to like almost every movie I go to. I'm a big cheeseball. But this movie never lets the scene breathe because there's a lot of dramatic parts to it. It's dealing with some heavy shit. It's a heavy story, but the dialogue is clunky and a little cliche, and the actors are trying their best. And then the music is just so loud and lush, and it's like I'm watching a soap opera right now, dude. But like it's 2 fucking hours, so it's like, oh, you know, especially for a fan film.
Yeah.
Just like the controversy aside, is it an achievement in filmmaking for fans? Sure, because it's like, you know, just making like a 5-minute short film took a lot of time.
Yeah.
Me thinking of like trying to make a 2-hour feature is bananas to me. Like, and you and I wrote an hour and a half movie script.
We wrote a movie,
and that was an undertaking.
It took us a few months.
Yeah, it took us a few months. I can imagine us writing a 2-hour one and then trying to make it.
Yeah.
And this is like an action superhero film, so there's VFX and oh my God. So congrats, I guess, but
yeah,
the director and actor of it says some racist shit.
Yeah.
The director's pretty cocky. He thinks, like, I made the next best Spider-Man film. No, you didn't.
Well, to kind of stick on the line of fan-made stuff, and we're going to end on a good note with a shout-out. We have a friend named Angel, who a few years ago helped animate and helped direct a reanimation of the SpongeBob SquarePants movie.
Okay, for the record, this has been out for years.
It's been out for years, but
Billy's
I'm just
late
giving
to
a
the game.
shout-out.
Billy's late to the game on this.
I watched it when it came out, but since we're talking about fan-made stuff, I thought
if you want
I'd
to watch
give
something
Angel,
fun, and again, there's a plethora of Spider.
Yes.
If you want to watch something fan-made Spider-Man related, there's a plethora.
Yeah.
You don't have to waste your time on this one. It's only
But-
big because of the controversy, you know.
Yeah, but to talk about this, so we have a friend named Angel. He's an incredible person, incredible animator. Him and a bunch of just other random animators from around the internet who all love SpongeBob got together and reanimated and revoice acted frame by frame and line by line the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, and it's on YouTube for free to watch, and it's called the SpongeBob SquarePants movie Rehydrated.
I love
highly
that
recommend it.
a show that gets no views is shouting out a video that's made millions of
Listen,
views.
but Angel deserves it. We have, we're small fry, but he still deserves the shout out. Angel's a great guy. Go check it out. So, but I guess we'll end it there. Nothing left on the docket. So
Yeah, we're back. We will accumulate
some more news for next week.
More news for next week.
Yes, unless there's wrestling, and then no, there's
no wrestling next week.
None until November.
Not until November.
Not
okay.
until November.
We should be good then.
We should be good till November. That's the next one we're gonna have to. Well, I have some weddings that I'm DJing that we're gonna have to play around in September. But
so maybe we'll stream on Fridays.
Yeah,
or
we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We'll keep you guys updated.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We appreciate it.
Peace.